got back from Korea, I got together with about 5 or 6 of us, and then I felt that it was time maybe to reorganize the thinking in the group. And Audrey typed up about 30 1-cent postcards and sent it out to people that I thought might be interested, and set a date of January 26, 1953. We had a little mimeographed newspaper sheet that my wife typed up. I cleaned out a coal bin and made it our first EA office there in home in Milwaukee. We decided to have what we call a fly-in, and it was our first gathering. We kind of felt it would be those that were close to us at that time, some of the air show people and some of those that I was aware of that had built or modified some airplanes. It was a great turnout, more than I really expected, especially the enthusiasm. And I started to learn a lot about people and volunteers and their enthusiasm for such an event. Then I was building the airplane, and it was a baby ace. The editor of Mechanics Illustrated evidently heard about me, and he contacted me and asked if I would write a series of articles on how to build an airplane. I wrote the 3 series, but after the first, the drawings were published. But when the first issue came out, I started getting a lot of mail, and from all over the world. We had a wonderful offer and suggestion from one of our members, Chet Wellman, who lived in Rockford, to consider moving our convention to Rockford. They had a beautiful airport. Actually, their airport was like a golf course. It was well taken care of. They were very supportive, and we stayed there until we outgrew it from 59 until 69. And I well remember flying a KC-97 tanker circling the airport here in Oshkosh in 69, and the airport here looked like it'd be an ideal setup with the 2 runways. And Steve Whitman, along with the airport manager, Mike Brock, were very helpful to me. And I made a presentation to the county board in November of 1969, asking them if we could hold our convention here.
As I think back over it, there are certain milestones along the way where you saw the event evolve, but when I go back to the 70s and so forth, it basically was a fly-in with an air show in the afternoon and a limited amount of activities. The evening programs drew 200 or 300 people and concluded by 8 o'clock. Then what we saw is the interest of enthusiasts who wanted to be involved in the organization, so we started to expand the programming. We made the decision to move headquarters here to make this a year-round home. And that was a major decision because it brought people here on a year-round basis, which encouraged further development.
The mission and the goal of the Young Eagles program is to give 1 million kids an airplane ride by the year 2003.
We want to preserve all the attributes that we've had over the decades, but one of the most important missions for EA going forward is how do we grow aviation? How do we have more people become engaged and participate? show them the different ways through our chapters, through our publications, through our events, through outreach with our aircraft operations. There's a multitude of things. And so what's evolved over time is what has made it real is our members. Our members are actively involved, they're engaged, there's a sense of ownership with the organization. They take people for airplane rides, they bring people to their local chapters. We have many outstanding programs. Headquarters is a facilitator. The real implementation is in the field through our members on a regional, statewide, local basis. And much of what we do has been a result of our members' participation, their leadership, their comments, their inputs, and so forth. So we've evolved over time to what we've become today.
Looking back at EAA, a couple guys in a basement, a vision of being able to build their own airplanes, get together once a year for what they called a convention, and then to think of today that it is really the underpinning of general aviation. The vision that Paul had, he probably had no idea that he was going to be personally responsible for keeping general aviation vibrant in the United States.